Hello everyone, and welcome to the final part of the Marble Bowling Championship Season 1. Today we are going to crown a team champion. So if your team is still in this competition, make sure to cheer for them in the comments. This is the current bracket we have set up. We have only 4 teams remaining. We're starting off between Cyan and Red. Cyan is the 1st seed and Red is the 5th seed. Red is starting off with Team Martian as their strike ball. And Cyan is continuing with Treasure Map, who is very successful in the qualifying rounds. Cyan, since they are the higher seed, they are electing to go first, so that means they can finish first and put all the pressure, if there is any, on Team Red. Which is a very smart move, and Cyan starts off with a strike. Treasure Map had an average score of 9 pins every shot in the qualifier, and they come out strong with a strike. Let's look at this on instant replay. You can see they pulled a page out of Red's book, going all the way to the left side and curling in and using the deflection to knock down all the pins. You could see earlier the fans from Team Cyan going wild. Hashtag Cyan strong. Let's see what Red can do. They're starting off with Martian, who is very good in the knockout rounds, but comes up short and knocks out down only 5 pins. Pretty disappointing. See what Sunburn can do on this second shot. We've seen him make crazy spares before. Oh, but he was just 1 pin away and leaves 1 standing, bringing their total to 9. Not a bad start, but they are behind Team Cyan. They are obviously doing really strong in this competition. Cyan is the team to beat, but Red surprised everyone, beating Green in the knockout rounds. Can they pull off an amazing upset now? Let's find out soon. They start off with a total of 9. It looks like they switched up between strike balls, despite Martian having a lot of success. Sunburn did very good. Oh, but Martian, not super strong on the spare shot, goes straight into the gutter about halfway down the lane, giving them a total of 18, which is now really giving the lead to Team Cyan. Treasure Map going to the right side and curling in this time. Not really one for going straight down the center, which has seen success in a lot of teams. But they're sticking with curling from the outside. Let's see. Oh, Cloudy Sky on the spare attempt goes too far to the left. He couldn't come back in and knock down those 2 pins, bringing their total to 26 and 8 pins ahead of Team Red. Cyan had 2 spares in the qualifiers, had a total of 42. No one was even close to catching that. Let's see, but the knockout rounds are a completely different environment. We saw Team White beat Team Brown, who was looking really strong, and Cyan goes 6 out and gets only a total of 32. They have 32 in the 3rd frame, which would qualify you for the knockout rounds, but this is the semifinals, so a lot more at stake here. And Red bowls a 6 count, leaving 4 pins right in the middle. This shouldn't be a big of a problem since Martian is really strong at strikes. Oh, but goes too far to the left, doesn't get a good curl in, and deflects off that pin on the left side, giving them a 6-2 and a total of 26 through 3 frames. This is honestly a deja vu of their qualifying match, where they couldn't get a single spare and had a total of 27, bringing them, of course, to 5th seed. But they, of course, are coming back. Oh, but they only get 3 in the 4th frame. They absolutely need a mark here if they're going to have any sort of chance catching up to Cyan, and that's exactly what they do. Team Red now takes the lead in the first semifinal. Look at the Red fans holding up the hashtag Red Rampage sign. They are ecstatic. Let's look at this spare again. You can see Sunburn goes all the way to the left and drifts in, but only gets 3 pins. But watch this spare attempt from Team Martian. Usually the pins go in a domino effect, but it almost looks like he was parting the Red Sea, and all the pins just went out to the side, and he just went straight through. Apparently it worked, and that gives them the lead. Now Cyan starting out with a strike and seeing super confident. Looks like they switched over to Cloudy Sky for their strike ball, and that could have been a really good decision, giving them a total of 8. Pins are very close together. Let's see what Treasure Map can do. Oh no, goes to the wrong side and does not curl back, giving them a total of 40 through 4 frames. Team Cyan was looking so strong in this competition, but if they don't get a mark in this 5th frame right here, Remember, this 5th frame is acting as a 10th frame normally would. They have a really high probability of being eliminated. They actually need this mark from Treasure Map. What can Treasure Map do? They curl in. Oh, but they get 6, bringing their total to 49. They absolutely needed that mark, but it's not over. Red, Martian needs 7 pins on this ball to put them into the finals. If they don't, Sunburn needs a few pins. What can Martian do? They get a strike! And Martian comes up clutch for Team Red, and Red is advancing as the 5th seed to the finals. Well, they will face either White or Black. Now, this is just for fun, maybe testing out some different strategies that they were afraid to do in the other matches, and clearly it didn't work with Martian going straight into the gutter. But Sunburn could use a little practice himself to see what can they do. They go on the yellow track, and they get a 7, which is a decent total. And that's more than decent. They get the highest score so far at a total of 63. And Team Red, the underdogs, beat the top seed Cyan and move on to the finals. Now, the second semifinal, we have White versus Black. Black is starting off with Black Mamba as their strike ball, who is very dominant in the qualifiers. And White is sticking with Jawbreaker, who came in clutch in the knockout rounds against Team Brown. Now, let's see, what can Black do? They've actually made a last-minute change to Starry Night. Wonder what was going through their process. Maybe Black Mamba wasn't quite ready for all this pressure. And actually, it was a pretty decent total from Starry Night, getting a total of 6. A lot of keeping the pins in the middle, which Black Mamba's pretty good at, since they have gotten a strike for their team in the past. Let's see, what can they do? Oh, they clip off only 1 and start out with 7 pins. That's not a great total, but keep in mind, they haven't bowled since the qualifiers. So they could be a little rusty and not used to the intense pressure that the knockouts bring. And Team White, the obvious underdogs, start off with 7, and they now tie Black for the lead. What can Abstract do? Abstract's come up clutch before. That they needed this clutch spare against Team Brown, but they only get 2. They went all the way to the left and curled in. That was a pretty good strategy, making sure, because they can clearly cover up the pins pretty easily. But just a little bit too much curl to the right was what happened there. Sticking with Jawbreaker for the second frame, but Jawbreaker goes all the way to the right side, gets only 4 pins. Let's see what Abstract can do. Abstract has made spares with more pins standing, but they are in the lead, so there's not a lot of pressure, but a good pin count would be nice. Oh, but as I say that, they get only 1 pin and have a total of 12 in the second frame. Black has remained dominant in the qualifiers with a strike and a spare after a 5 gutter. So we've seen them put up big scores. See what they can do here. Oh, wow, they crazy curl into the center from Starry Night. Let's see, Black Mamba probably needs a spare, and they get it! Team Black has now taken the lead. Let's look at this on instant replay. Look at the Black fans, absolutely elated. Let's look at this. You can see, watch Starry Night. Slows down his speed and curls to the right, leaving only 2 pins standing. Now watch as Black Mamba, as the spare attempt, comes through on the right side and curls to the left, but nevertheless, it was enough to knock those 2 pins straight down into the pit. And now Team Black has the lead. Moving on to the third frame now. Starry Night starting off once again. See, they're going at the same strategy. Oh, but they drift too far to the left and leave 5. It was almost 6. The pin in the middle was doing a little last-minute wiggling there. See, what can Black Mamba do? Can he get a second spare in a row? No! Goes a little bit too far to the right and deflects off the pins, getting a total of 3 off that shot and bringing their overall total to 30 in the third frame. Jawbreaker is starting off once again, going to the right. Oh, it was such a good shot, but he couldn't get a good drive through the pins, leaving those 2 standing. Abstract absolutely needs to make this spare to keep this match close. What can they do? They're off to the left. Oh, and they go straight in the gutter. Oh my goodness, what a disappointment. You can see the look of frustration on the white fans. Oh my goodness. Now, Team White is starting off again in the 4th frame. Let's see, can Jawbreaker... Oh, he tried to curl back, but just didn't get enough spin. So they get a total of 8 once again. This is a very odd leave. You don't see this left much in real bowling. Let's see, can Abstract get it anyways? Probably goes to the right track. Oh, it doesn't curl enough. Clips the front pin, but gets a total of 9, bringing their 4-frame total to 29. And they have found themselves in a hole. And I don't know if they can catch up from this. Starry Night leading off once again, has proven very well, but gets only 1. Starry Night has curled to the right basically every shot and did that once again. Unfortunately, it was to the right side, so it didn't help much to their total. But look at this! Black Mamba comes back with a second spare of the match. Let's look at, you can see the first shot. They curl to the left, but suddenly drift to the right and get only 1. But watch as Black Mamba comes through and almost doesn't get a spare. You can see the pin in the back row just falls at the end. Man, barely gets that spare. And now they have really stretched their lead. They only need decent count to force Team White to double. And basically, if you force a team to double, they are basically eliminated because that's almost impossible. And they do get decent count. They get 9. Almost a strike. I'm actually kind of surprised that wasn't a strike. See, the best strategy for Black Mamba is to go on the shorter track. The one on the left, you can see, get the momentum towards the right side. Oh, but they go the complete wrong way. And all the way to the left. But they get a total of 58. And that is probably going to do it. Black is going to be your second semifinalist. Although it is mathematically plausible for Team White to win this match, they have to get 3 strikes in a row, but that is probably not going to happen. Yeah, all the way to the left side, and they get 5. So it is official. Team Black is moving on to the finals to see if they can stop their 2nd place streak and move on to face Team Red, 5th seed. Anything can happen. Team White comes in 4th place with a total score of 35. So just as I said, Team Black is moving on to the finals against Team Red. This should be a match for the ages. Who is going to become the Marble Bowling Champion Season 1? Red starting off with Martian, and Black is sticking with Starry Night. I don't know about this strategy. Black Mamba has been the one closing the frames for that team. But let's see what happens. Although Black is the higher seed, they are letting Red go first so they can have the final shot. We haven't seen a team do this yet. Let's see if this strategy will pay off. Red starts out with 6 pins. Not great. But this is a pretty tricky spare from Team Red. Oh, it looks good, and they get it! Team Red starts off with a spare in the championship match. You can see the fans are super excited, cheering on their team to win this competition. You can see how Martian starts off on the right, but drifts to the left. Almost gets a few pins to go, but they stubbornly stay on. But Sunburn tells them what to do and knocks them straight into the pit, driving forward right in between that first pin and the one slightly to the right. Perfect technique, and nails that spare. So Red starts off with a mark, which in bowling is a spare or a strike. In this case, it's a spare. Can Starry Night answer back and get a mark of their own? Oh no, they go way to the left side and get only 1 pin. Can Black Mamba work miracles? No, they get only 5 and start out with a total of 6 pins. They have found themselves really far behind as the 2nd seed. And finally, they are switching to Black Mamba as the strike ball. I think this is a good decision. What can Black Mamba do? Straight to the center and gets... Oh, they leave 1 pin standing. They get a total of 9. Can we get a spare? They absolutely need the spare. Oh, no. Way to the left side, and they miss that pin standing. So they have 15 in the 2nd frame. You can see the fans not happy about that. Team Red up now for their 2nd frame. What can they do? Martian leading off again. We've seen Martian go from a strike to a gutter in as quick as the next frame. Will they blow it here? Oh no, they go straight down the center, but leave an ugly split. What a disappointment for what a disappointment. So they're probably not going to close the frame. Good to get at least some pin count. Oh, but Sunburn goes straight in the center. Now let's take a look at this again, because a lot of bowlers think that you got to go straight in the center to get a strike. But Martian went straight through the center, and what that does is it leaves the pins separated like that, and leaves pins standing on either corner of the lane, which is a near impossible spare to make. So you want to hit it slightly to the right, which we've seen a lot of strikes do. Anyways, Team Red bouncing back. Oh, but they get only a 3 count. Let's see what Sunburn can do here. We haven't seen much spare-wise from Sunburn, although they have made 2 6-pin spares in the past. One in the first frame. They do it again. And Sunburn, that's his 3rd spare in these knockout rounds. Sunburn doing a great job for the team. And now Black has found themselves 2 spares behind. They absolutely need good count. They absolutely need spare here, but they get 2 pins. What a disappointment. Black Mamba absolutely needs to get this if they want to stay in this competition and keep their hopes and dreams of winning this championship alive. What can they do? Oh, they go. Oh, that's a good shot. Oh, but they deflect just like they did in the semifinal match and get 6 pins, giving them a total of 23. Now this is it. Team Black absolutely needs a spare in this frame and in the 5th frame to give themselves any sort of chance. Let's see what they can do. Oh, it's a good line. Oh, but they curl to the right. Star Knight has done that so many times. They leave a 6 count. This is the spare that Green has always left. Can Black Mamba get it? No! Black Mamba gets 1 pin and give them a total of 30. You can see the Red fans. They see it. The light at the end of the tunnel. They are probably going to win this championship as long as nothing catastrophic happens in these final few frames. It's still anyone's game, but there is such a good chance that Red is going to take this. You can see Red gets a total of 6 in that shot. Just like what Black did. Can they get a spare and win this? Oh no, they missed and they have a total of 44. But they are 14 pins ahead of Team Black. If they can get a total of 17 in these next 2 frames, in this frame, that guarantees them. Oh, but they get only 4. Team Black has a glimmer of hope. If Sunburn misses all of them, Black can get a spare and 9 and still win this. But Sunburn, all he needs is good count. And Sunburn gets a spare. And Sunburn comes up clutch for the team. And Sunburn and Team Red has basically won this. Let's look at this. Martian. Oh, what a disappointment. Goes all the way to the right side. But watch as Sunburn, goes to the right side and curls into the left. And just perfect technique. Goes straight in the center between the head pin and the one just to the right. Red has a total of 54. If they get 7, that mathematically gives them the championship. What can they do? They need 7. And they get 7. Red, Team Red is your Marble Bowling Championship Season 1 champions. Team Black has come 2nd place so many times. Such a strong qualifier, but was 2nd to Team Red. Had a great total in their semifinal match, but was 2nd place total-wise against Team Red. And now in the matchups, they come up just short, runner-up against Team Red, who the latter is your champions. Let's look at the bracket. 5th seed Team Red coming from no marks to the champion of the series. Let's take a look at your bracket one more time. Team Red has come a long way, but they're the winners. Let's look at the final standings. Red and Black come in 1st and 2nd. Cyan gets 3rd in the semifinals based on higher totals. And Green gets 5th against 6th seed Brown, also in the knockout rounds. Qualifiers Orange, Blue, Yellow, and Lime come in 7th through 10th respectively. Thank you for watching this series. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for Marble Tour Season 2 because that's next. See ya!